Henne and his Farm Show on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com.
A mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your day is going well for you, wherever you might be. Terry Henne here at Radio Center, along with Matthew Lester, and looking outside and enjoying the absolutely gorgeous weather we've got out there. Mostly sunny skies. And Matthew will touch base on some of the conditions here in just a moment. We have had unseasonably mild conditions, albeit a little bit of wind to chill things down. But for the most part, it has been just unbelievable this time of the year. Not a lot of record-breaking type stuff, although we did break a record back a few days ago when we hit 60 degrees. But we're looking right now at a pretty good chance of seeing continuation of the above average temperatures as we roll into the weekend. And then first part of next week, we're still going to be looking at some fairly mild temperatures for this time of the year. Remember, we should be at 35. That's our average high for this time of the year, and 23 at night. We were a good 10 to 12 degrees above average overnight last night, and not all that bad of a day yesterday. We were up close to 50 degrees, 48 out at the airport. Flint was at 49, and unofficially there were a few 50s out there, and folks getting some work done outside. Matter of fact, they're still working on the leaves, some folks. I mean, the trees just did not want to shuck those leaves. A little bit later on, we'll be talking to Chuck Cervinsky from Maple Hill Nursery, and Chuck will tell us some things, getting preparation here for the not only the holidays, but the winter weather. It's going to come sooner or later, and by the looks of things, it is going to be later. Right now, Matthew, what are we looking at as far as our current readings?
Well, over in Midland, it's mostly sunny at 47. Over at the airport, it's mostly sunny at 45. Here at Radio Center, it's mostly sunny at 43. We have southwest winds at 14 miles per hour, and our pressure is at 30.45, and it's falling.
Falling off because we do have some low pressure that is eventually going to influence our weather. We're under the influence right now of a high pressure system, which is south and east of us. That high along with a low pressure system, which is currently over the Texas Panhandle, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana. That one with the counterclockwise circulation is pushing the warmer air up, and then the high is grabbing onto it and pushing it up at us. So we should at least hit 50 degrees, if not a little bit more, as we go into the afternoon. Now, the dynamic in the lower atmosphere and upper atmosphere is very interesting right now. Usually we don't see a lot of this happening at this time of the year. Usually the jet stream is promoting a series of low pressure systems that are crossing either from west to east or from the southwest to the northeast, and it affects our weather as we're looking at chances of precipitation, rain, ice, snow, that sort of stuff. East Coast is usually a little bit milder, so whatever they get as far as precipitation goes is just plain old rain. Well, they're going to get plain old rain, all right. They are looking at a major system because there not only is that low pressure system that we just talked about, that is going to be moving in an easterly direction, but there's also another low pressure system that cropped up within the past couple of days down in the southwestern sections of the Gulf of Mexico. Now, the two lows are going to be combining as we go through the next 24 hours. Right now, Florida has been experiencing some rain, and Florida is going to continue to pick up some rain. Northern sections of Florida, as well as Georgia, extreme eastern portions of Alabama, the Carolinas, within the next 24 hours, they're going to pick up a whole lot of rain. And then the two of them together are going to be moving up the East Coast, combining into one major system that'll eventually become a nor'easter. So we're going to keep our eye on that system because late Saturday night and during the day on Sunday, there is going to be a chance of seeing a little bit of blowback on that whole scenario. So by that, I mean counterclockwise circulation. It is going to be generating the possibility of us seeing maybe, and I emphasize the word maybe, a little wind shift for late Sunday night and early Monday morning, more so coming along out of the northeast and the east. If that's the case, we will be seeing some precipitation moving in because of that low pressure system. A lot of energy. That's what's going on right now in the upper air. And it is stealing the energy from the low pressure system that is right now influencing the upper peninsula. The UP is looking at some rain shower activity right now, and that's going to be changing over into snow during the day tomorrow night, and into the morning hours on Sunday. Snow is also in the forecast for northern sections of Wisconsin, also a good part of the northern 2/3 of Minnesota. But all that activity is going to be tapering off over the next little while. So that is, again, stealing the energy of that system is being stolen by the two lows that eventually are going to take over off to the East Coast. So 50 degrees for a high, mostly sunny, clouds on the increase late tonight. Sun will set this evening at 4:59, rise tomorrow morning at 8:03. And during the day tomorrow, after a low of 38, we're only going to drop down to 38. That's 3 degrees warmer than our normal high. 48 degrees for a high tomorrow. Clouds, chance of showers, especially in northern Michigan during the day. Some showers, and further north, some snow. Very spotty precipitation here until late Saturday night and early Sunday morning. That's when the low pressure system will weaken. It'll be over northern Illinois. So we're not looking for that chance of precipitation to increase at all until late Saturday night. 40 degrees for a low on Saturday night, so still very mild. Then Sunday, 45 for a high, clouds. Some showers will be around, and right now it is uncertain just to exactly how much precipitation we do get, because if we get anything, it is going to be from all the activity out to the east, which is going to create some travel problems. So if you've got some air flights that are going out to the East Coast over the weekend, be prepared. You very possibly could see some changes in your scheduling for all of that. 45 for a high, 32 for a low on Sunday. And moving into the work week on Monday, there is still going to be a chance of some shower activity. It will be very windy on Monday, and that will be because of the low pressure system, which will be over New York City on Monday. Mid-30s for a high on Monday, 20 for a low Monday night with partly cloudy skies, and Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, upper 30s to around 40 each day. Very little, if any, chance of any precipitation. So that, in a nutshell, is what the weather is all about. Matthew, who do we have on tap with us right now?
Up next, we have Steve Anderson from Baird & Co.
Okay, let's go to Steve right now. Steve, good morning. How are you?
I am well, Terry. How are you?
Hey, we're doing great. What's going on in New York? Another record breaker?
Well, it kind of looks that way. We've got the Dow Jones Industrial Average ahead by 33 points, putting it at 37,280 on volume of 677 million shares. I've got a pretty horrible echo here, Terry.
Yeah, I'm noticing that myself here. Let's push a couple of buttons. Okay. Do you still have an echo?
I don't have an echo, but do you have me?
I've got you loud and clear.
Okay, good, because that echo was making me crazy.
Yeah.
The NASDAQ is up 75 points at 14,837. The volume there is 718 million shares. The tip for today is we're getting kind of close to the end of the year, and so people should do what they can as far as their tax planning for the end of the year. By that, I mean take a look and see what do you have in the way of capital gains that you've taken so far. What do you have in the way of losing positions that look like they probably are going to stay losing positions, and use one to offset the other, because if you sell the loser, You can write it off against the gains and thus save you some taxes. If you do have something that you wish to continue to hold in the future and it's down, be careful, because if you sell that one to take the loss, you cannot buy it back for the next 31 days. So that can be a little bit of a handcuff for you. And as you go into 2024, there's going to be some changes that you're going to need to know in the tax code. So talk with your tax preparer and see what that means for you. They're increasing the standard deductions. Married filing jointly is going up to $29,200. Single taxpayers is going up to $14,600. And head of households is going up to $21,900. What does that mean? It means it's going to make it tougher for you to itemize things, but it's also going to streamline your taxes, because if you don't have to fiddle around itemizing, there you go.
There you go. Hey, for more information, how do we get a hold of you?
You can call us right here at Baird and Company, where the telephone number is 989-790-5724. Our Midland location is 989-839-9035. And you can find us on the web at rwbaird, that's BAIRD.com. And then you can look for the branch that you wish to speak with and the rep that you're trying to get a hold of.
Steve Anderson, you have a great weekend. We'll talk to you next week, okay?
I certainly shall. You too. Bye-bye.
I will. Bye-bye. Steve Anderson over at Baird and Company. Coming up next, we'll have Gary Kaufman and Doug Klein over at Star of the West and Oppenheimer. But before we do that, we want to remind you the weather forecast brought to you by the folks at Nutrien Ag Solutions.
Nutrien Ag Solutions has the local expertise to recommend the corn, soybean, and other seed products that are the best fit for your field. Plus, unparalleled agronomic support with products and services to unlock yield potential and improve crop performance from planting to harvest. Ask about our financing options to help you get more from every acre and lead the field. Visit your local Nutrien Ag Solutions branch or go to nutrienagsolutions.com.
They say there's a secret to growing a great crop. At Nutrien Ag Solutions, they beg to differ. It all starts with a strong foundation, and when it comes to fertilizer, there's no question that Titan XE drives dry fertilizer performance. They've been unlocking the potential in every prill of dry fertilizer with biocatalyst technology for over a decade. Visit lpi.ag/Titan or contact your Nutrien Ag Solutions crop consultant to drive your crop's potential today. Along with us right now from Star of the West, Gary Kaufman. Good morning. How are you?
Hey, good morning there, Terry. Doing well, thank you.
Well, good. Understand that you're back now and you're going to bring us all sorts of good news, but not really.
Well, yeah, we got a little bit of everything today. You know, wheat's up, corn's unchanged, and beans are down. So there you go.
Well, it's nice to see the wheat making a move here.
Yeah, you know, it's been a choppy week for sure in the wheat arena, and you know we've seen the wheat change double digits for I think 4 days in a row. You know, and technical buy-ins kind of in the equation, and they're giving it some support. But overall, demand's been pretty good in the wheat. So, but you know, if you look at last Friday's close, Terry, and to where we're at the noon hour here, we're actually down 9 for the wheat. On wheat, and I wouldn't have thought that, but here we are. But corn's down about 7 for the week, and actually beans are up about 8 for the week. But I think that kind of making up for last week. But
that kind of surprises me on the corn, because the corn really, you know, has been just sitting back and watching everybody else make some major moves.
Yeah, you know, I mean, you know, we had that UT report, you know, last Friday, I guess it was a week ago. And, you know, it basically, you know, was kind of a neutral non-event report on corn. And, you know, the corn demand, it continues to improve. And we've had some pretty good exports lately. And just looking at some numbers, Terry, from last year till now, we're up about 30-some% on corn exports, which we need to have. We need to see that demand because we got a pretty decent crop on hand to get rid of for sure. So
yeah, that's right. So on the board right now, what do you have, Gary?
Yeah. Right now, let's call cash wheat up 7, Terry, at 578 on the white, 493 on the red. New crop for next year up 5 at 632 on the white, 552 on the red. Cash corn unchanged at 389. New crop for next year up a penny at 445. Cash soybeans currently down 2 at 1217, and new crop for next year is down 7 at 1194.
Well, you have a great weekend, and go easy on the wallet, okay? Because I know you got a lot of last minute Christmas shopping to do.
Oh, don't we ever? So
we sure do. Take care, Gary. We'll talk to you next week.
Yep. Thanks, Terry.
You bet. Gary Kaufman over at Star of the West. To Doug Klein, we go from Oppenheimer. Market report brought to you by Schaefer and Beerline. That 2023 heavy duty lineup, they're there. And the 2024 1500s, they're there. Where? Schaefer and Beerline in Frankenmuth. So if you're in the market for a new Ram 1500, a Ram heavy duty pickup, ProMaster van, or a Ram commercial truck, and you want to buy with confidence from a business linked dealer that knows what customer satisfaction truly is, Schaefer and Beerline is where you should go. In Frankenmuth, where family and service sells cars. Market report also brought to you by Thumb Bank, serving the needs of agriculture for well over 125 years. 13 locations now to take care of you in the Thumb and the Great Lakes Bay region. Thumb Bank, where relationships are built on trust. Doug Klein, eventful or uneventful for a Friday?
I think happy Friday. No, I think it's just kind of digesting the week, just kind of looking back and going, wow, we made it to Friday,
Yeah.
We had Williams, he's a Fed governor, came on today, and he said, the Fed's really not talking at all about reducing interest rates, even though the stock market and the bond markets and the bankers and all the mucky mucks, they're all talking that interest rates are going to be down 1% over the course of the next year. So we'll see if that plays out.
I was going to say, speaking with forked tongue, are they?
Yeah, who knows? That's about the only news out. Remember, I mentioned that options expire today.
Yeah.
$5 trillion worth of equity options expiring today. So I think they were a little bit nervous yesterday when the market surged like that. So they covered their disproportions or whatever, their portfolio kind of leveled it out yesterday, and now they're kind of just coasting, I think. Oh, anyway, here are your numbers. The March corn is 479.5, up a quarter of a penny. July corn 501.25, down a quarter of a penny. March soybeans 1328.5, down 3.5. July soybeans 1346.25, down 6. March wheat is 621.75, up 6 cents, and July wheat 635.25, up 3 3/4. Crude oil down a little bit, but not much. 71.66, 25 cents down. Heating oil is 260.5. That's up 3.7 cents. Gasoline 214.07. That's up 1.1 cents. And I saw 285 in Vassar this morning, so they're kind of getting the gist.
I take it.
What's that?
I'll take it.
Yeah, yep. Exactly. Natural gas is 229. That's up 3 cents. Over to currencies, Canadian dollar. U.S. dollar buys $1.3370 Canadian. That's down 36 ticks. The dollar buys 141.82 yen. That's down 5 ticks. The euro's at 109 even. That's down 9 ticks. And the dollar's at 102.42. That's up 46 ticks. Gold is at $2,035.90. It's up $5 an ounce. Silver is flat even at $24.09. And platinum's at $949.80. It's down $18.10.
All righty. You have a good one.
Thanks, you too.
All right, Doug, take care. Doug Klein over at Oppenheimer. Farm Service brought to you today by the folks at Freeland Bean and Grain. Getting ready for 2024. That's what's in the headlights over at Freeland Bean and Grain. They've got the staff over there to help you too. Whether it's needs for fertilizer or needs for seed, that's the folks that you should be talking to. They are your Dairyland Seed headquarters over there. And Vic and his staff got a pretty good handle on the fertilizer. What's going on with that too? Freeland Bean and Grain, serving you since 1983. Where serving you is their business. We say good morning to Kim Weiss over at Lingle Equipment. And Kim, a lot of folks we mentioned at the beginning of the program working in the backyards right now. So I would imagine you got some pretty good deals there. But tell us what's on the iron, the fire right now.
Well, Terry, I just wanted to get back to the UTVs, the utility vehicles. I've got here 3 of our Kubota RTV XG850s. They're the gas engine, the CVT transmission. They're 45 miles an hour plus going down the road. If you want to use it for trail riding, it's fully independent suspension. It's got a nice box on it that does dump. They'd be great for like spraying, put a sprayer in the box and doing your first spraying of them American Crystal Sugar Beets next spring. You can get a poster in there, and there's a lot of uses for that around the farm. And you can drive it down the road at 45 miles an hour. You can move it from farm to farm, wherever you got to go. I got 3 of them. I got 1 camo and 2 black ones here. The black ones are the sport models with the nice wheels. They're ranging between $16,900 and $18,500. A lot of our competitors are well over $20,000. We're under that, and it's a great heavy-duty machine. I also have a diesel and an RTV 1100, which is the factory cab air and heat, 24-horse diesel, hydro transmission, hydraulic dump bed. Great machine for plowing snow, if we ever do get some, or whatever you need to do around the farm. Got them here on display. Come on in and see me. Let's sit down and talk about it. 989-754-7801 is the number. Give me a call or stop in and see us. We're right alongside I-75, just south of the Zilwaukee Bridge off the Washington Road exit. Or send me an email at k.weiss, W-E-I-S-S, at lingo1.com, and we'll get it out to you.
Always a pleasure, Kim. You have a nice weekend.
You too, Terry. Let's keep this sunshine going. I mean, that's pretty nice, and that's drying out for the ones that have some late tillage work to do.
Oh, yeah. They're getting a lot of that done right now. Take care, Kim. We'll talk to you next week. All righty. Yep. Kim Weiss, Lingle Equipment. Take a break, and then who do we have, Matthew?
Up next, we have Joe Kramer from the Michigan Bean Commission.
But first, this.
Like you, we never settle. There's more sugar. In fact, better sugar in every seed we sell. For more than a century, we've put innovation to work in the service of growers who plant Crystal brand sugar beet seed. With varieties developed especially for your growing area, you can be confident your success is always our top priority. This season, and for seasons to come, choose a seed partner who shares your priorities.
This is Jeff Karst, your ACH Seeds independent sales agent. Our 2024 lineup is looking great. We have 5 new CR Plus varieties, including 2 that have been in nematode tolerance. This next generation of Crystal sugar beet varieties provides even better sugar content and the full spectrum of defensive traits you need. The field-proven advantages of the CR Plus trait continue to allow confidence of good disease control with fewer trips across the field. I look forward to hearing from you and working toward continued success. Thanks again for partnering with ACH Seeds.
ACH Seeds, growing with you.
Fridays are usually a pretty good day to kind of wrap things up and reflect on what has been going on all this week. I figured I'd get a hold of Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission because, Joe, you've been on the road pretty much all week, a lot of grower meetings. What were you able to get out of those meetings, talking to a lot of the dry bean growers?
Terry, we did have a good week, a busy week. I think that there is, to summarize, I think there's interest in dry beans. Guys are looking at corn, wheat, soybeans, the wheat acres that didn't get planted, and wondering how dry beans fit in there. What should my mix of class be? And certainly there's a lot of interest in black beans right now. Black beans are having a pretty good year. Not only did we have a better than expected yield, but the market has been moving our way in a pretty strong way. At the expense of the Mexicans who are suffering from that pretty severe drought. So I think folks are trying to figure out, are we going to get carried away with black beans? Should we be contracting? I think there are some $40 contracts available. So guys, be talking about that, see how that fits into your program. if you can lock in some profit, make sure you got a place to deliver next year. That might all make sense for you. So I think that was the biggest takeaway. We had a lot of good conversation about different agronomy practices. Scott's research is exceptional, and he does a great job of presenting it. So, and we had a great week all in all, Terry.
And you had great turnout at those meetings too, which means there's, as you said, there's interest in raising dry beans.
It was a good turnout. We got to see a lot of familiar faces and some new ones. Yeah, I can't wait to see how this spring what it turns into this year. So anxious to get through the winter.
It is very interesting. You take care. Have a great day. We'll talk to you hopefully next week. All right.
Yep, we'll do. Thanks, Terry. You too.
You bet. Joe Kramer with the Michigan Bean Commission. Let's see if we can get some work done. Well, I tell you what, Chuck Cervinsky at Maple Hill Nursery, now's a pretty good time still to be doing some winter decorating in the containers.
Right now, we actually have Craig Voorhees.
Oh, that's okay. Craig Voorhees, good morning. How are you, Craig?
Hey, good morning, fellas. We're good. How about you?
Almost forgot about you, but that's because we were on cruise control. That means we're talking electronics. Electronics kind of in the forefront these days in a lot of farming operations, isn't it?
It certainly is. Was having a conversation just yesterday with some fellas that were doing some year-end buying and upgrading their electronics and a few pieces of equipment, and wanted to know if they needed to adjust their coverage any. And with the particular company that they were with, they do not need to change that. A lot of the companies, insurance companies that are, include the electronics in the value of the tractor. So just keep good records of what you've done and what electronics you have in the equipment, and that's all you really need to do.
All right, good advice. You take care. Have a great day. We'll talk to you again next week, okay?
All right. Thanks, Terry. You too.
I will. Craig Voorhees with the Rummel Agency. We'll take this 30-second break and be right back.
Simply the best. For 45 years, one name has been synonymous with the best genetics, Stein. Our goal has always been to develop the highest yielding corn genetics. To do this, we strategically find and advance the newest, highest performing corn lines every year. Stein offers elite genetics in over 50 lines with a broad range of traits in maturities ranging from 80 days to 118 days. Stein has yield, 45 years of yield. Learn more at steinseed.com.
How do you make the most of your land? Shaw does it behind the wheel of the John Deere 1025R compact tractor.
Why do I go by Shaw? Shaw stands for skilled hands at work.
And he lives up to the name as he uses his versatile tractor to
make my yard look as beautiful as I possibly can.
But the Hubbards use their 1025R to
do both vegetables and my flowers. It's exciting, putting yourself out there, learning something new.
And with a long list of easy-to-attach implements, ranging from a front loader to a box blade and backhoe, they both can make
the earth take the shape that I want it to take.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. How will you make the most of yours? Nothing runs like a Deere. Get a 1-Series tractor for just $130 per month at your John Deere dealer today. For additional cost information, please call toll-free 855-633-2315.
Contact one of Tri-County Equipment's 11 locations in Auburn Hills, Bad Axe, Birch Run, Burton, Caro, Fenton, Lapeer, Marlette, Reese, Saginaw, or Sandusky, or visit Tri-County Equipment online at tricountyequipment.com.
This reminder, the Great Lakes Crop Summit, it's celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. Registration is open. Remember, January 24th and 25th in Mount Pleasant. That's when the event will be held. And it's a joint effort put on by the Corn Marketing Board of Michigan, the Michigan Soybean Commission, and the Michigan Wheat Group. Again, Great Lakes Crop Summit, 10th annual, so promises to be a pretty loaded speaker agenda for that particular meeting. So if you do want to stay overnight in Mount Pleasant, you haven't made your reservations yet, it might be a really good idea to check out availability of rooms, because they always do fill up quite quickly. That just about takes care of things here for this hour. We'll be back at 12:30 with an update right here on WSGW.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com. I'm Steve.